What's up, friends? It's your boy GP with DeOrganized Media, bringing you another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars into the same room, have a dope conversation, discuss what's going on in the markets, and kick out some high-frequency vibes. It has been an awesome weekend. I loved getting to touch some grass and get some things done, and now a very strong start to the week. Yes, there's plenty to discuss, including BoostX updates, Velar perp decks, all the good stuff. So we'll get right into it. I've got some bookmarks on my X page that I would like to go over. Let me go ahead and just pull those up so we can get you guys in the know. Here we go. I'll share my screen with you. All right, so getting straight into it. So just in about 18 minutes ago from Cointelegraph, security firm Threat Fabric has uncovered a new Android malware called Crocodilius that steals crypto wallet seed phrases by posing as legit crypto apps. It uses social engineering and Android accessibility permissions to take remote control, harvest data, and drain funds. So please be sure that you are practicing very, very safe, habits whenever you are using self-custody. Just be safe, guys. There are bad actors in this space, and as this space grows, there will be more and more coming to it to try to reap your benefits. So be careful. Coming out of the Hermetica camp, USDH is now powering the first Bitcoin native perp decks. Belar has launched with the SBTC/USD on stacks. Traders can now go long or BTC using USDH as collateral. A new chapter of Bitcoin DeFi starts now. A big shout out to the Hermetica squad and the Velar squad for getting this together. Look at that BoostX module on my X page. Wow, isn't it so pretty? As you can see, I don't have 1,000 tabs open because I can get to any protocol within stacks right from BoostX. If you have not checked out BoostX, go to BoostX_app and check out the alpha. All right, so getting into Zest protocol, AEUSDC deposit yield currently above 25% APY. Could be a good time to supply some idle stablecoin liquidity on Zest. Big shout out to the Zest squad. I am the community growth lead over there, so get into the Zest Discord. We have some fun stuff planned for the month of April. Getting into Stacking DAO, coming out of the Stacking DAO squad, Don't miss Stacks DeFi show tomorrow at 10 a.m. ET. This week, there is a lot of news to share. From the Velar Perp Decks and Stacking DAO, immediate unstacking to new announcements from Zest and Bitflow. You don't want to miss the alpha guys. Got a bunch of chads from the ecosystem showing up to the Stacks DeFi show every week. So go tune in to the Stacking DAO DeFi show. Follow Stacking DAO at Stacking DAO, and go tune in at 10 a.m. for the Stacking DAO DeFi show. Coming from Hero Systems, learn clarity by checking out how a major DeFi product or project designed their contracts to provide liquid stacking. Cameo appearances by Philip Hacks to help explain complex logic throughout the depositing and withdrawing flows for a user. So yeah, go follow Hero Systems and learn how these different Clarity Smart contracts work. Excuse me. Stacking DAO, again from Stacking DAO. If you own STX and look to accumulate more BTC/SBTC, you know where to go. Just use Stacking DAO. No matter how many stacks you have, you can be earning native BTC with Stacking DAO. So go check out Stacking DAO. Get into the know. Learn how to earn with your stacks and Bitcoin in the Stacks ecosystem. Moving on into the news from Cointelegraph, breaking: Circle, the issuer of USDC, has hired JP Morgan and Citi for its long-awaited IPO, with a public filing expected for late April. Wow, big stuff coming out of Circle and their IPO. Today, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink warns that unchecked U.S. debt could threaten the dollar's reserve status, with Bitcoin emerging as a potential alternative. They have a nice little infographic here. The democratization of investing. Excuse me, my mouth doesn't want to work today. All right, so coming in from Cointelegraph with another one. Just in, Tether has minted another 1 billion USDT on Tron DAO, bringing the total to 8 billion in 2025. That is a huge amount of Tether right there on the Tron network. And moving on, new CZ's public address sent 1.95 million in TUT, 1.1 million in broccoli, and 546K in broccoli to the burning address, with more to follow. So from CZ himself, sent a few high-value tokens, 6 or 7 figures, on my address to a burn address. There are a few new AI solutions to automate this, but they have not been security reviewed. We'll do the rest later. Please do not send more tokens to the address expecting an interaction. So very cool over there in the BNB ecosystem. Just in, Japan's FSA plans to reclassify cryptocurrencies as financial products by 2026 to curb insider trading and align them with traditional finance rules. The move aims to integrate crypto into the mainstream and attract institutional investors. Okay. From Cointelegraph, a dormant pre-mine wallet with 2,000 ETH, $3.68 million in value, has come back to life after nearly 10 years of silence. So I've seen this a couple different times over the last few weeks. Different dormant wallets, whether it's Bitcoin, ETH, whatever whales, they're coming back to life and making some moves. I wonder what they're thinking. Also from Cointelegraph, Paris Blockchain Week 2025 hits the Carousel du Levar April 10th through April 8th through the 10th. Hear from all sorts of, Charles Hoskins is in there, David Ripley from Kraken, Eric Node from Crypto.com, Adam from Blockstream, a whole bunch of chads going to talk in Paris Blockchain Week. So yeah, go check that out. New gold has reached new all-time highs, surging past $3,150. Wow. So gold just keeps it's on a tear. Really cool stuff there. Just in, the Trump family quietly took control of crypto firm World Liberty, now entitled to 75% of its 550 million token revenue, despite tokens being non-tradable and offering no profits to share to buyers. I wonder what he has up his sleeve or what he plans on doing there. Um, yes. Insight. Vitalik Buterin argues we should shift focus from public goods to open source funding, as the term public good has become diluted and misused. He believes open source has clearer definitions and better aligns with the goals of decentralized ecosystems. Wow. Okay, so is he taking a note from the Stacks, playbook here? Is he like now like is his mouth watering over Stacks? Is he bullish on Stacks? Like he was thinking about Stacks when he clearly made this post, right? I think so. I mean, we're over here screaming that Ethereum is the test net and all that jazz. Uh, I wonder. Hmm. So, getting into another one from Cointelegraph, latest NFT marketplace X2Y2 is officially shut down on April 30th, 2025, as the team pivots towards building decentralized AI powered yield solutions. Okay, so no more NFTs, AI yield solutions. Very cool. Um, Justin, Chainlink payment abstraction is now live on mainnet, enabling users to pay for services like SVR with gas tokens that are automatically converted to Link via Uniswap. This upgrade reduces payment friction and boosts crypto economic security across the Chainlink network. Very cool stuff. Chainlink is an oracle. Cool. New Pump Swap, the new DEX from Pump.Fund, has hit 10 billion in trading volume and 20 million in fees just 10 days after launch. Cool. If you like Soul, Pump Swap over there, go play with some pump and nums. Not financial advice. Latest digital asset fund saw 226 million in inflows last week, with altcoins like ETH, Sol, XRP, and SWI posting a 33 million rebound after 4 weeks of outflows totaling 1.7 billion dollars. So you can see the outflows here, boom, and then finally into the positive in inflows there. Just in, April could bring sharp volatility to the Bitcoin market, with analysts warning price swings and U.S.-China trade tensions and continued Fed tightening. Yes, I agree. Landy has put us on game about the triple witching, which is a TradFi term where options expiries on the monthly, weekly, daily, you name it, they all expire at the same time. So we are expecting some volatility. Big shout out to Crypto Landy. Go follow him on X. Get yourself in the know. He covers the fundamentals of TA, which is technical analysis, on DeOrganized on Tuesdays. So be sure to follow him. Follow DeOrganized BTC on X to stay in the know. Maybe learn how to do some trading yourself, how to identify support and resistance levels, and use different indicators to do so. Moving on, Cointelegraph again. Latest. Bloomberg's Mike McGlone warns ETH could drop to 1,000 this year if the S&P 500 continues falling and BTC fails to recover. He highlights a clear connection between ETH and other risk assets. And sad news, but has to be covered. From the console team about 5 hours ago, we have an important update to share. Console will be closing operations, and the last day of service will be April 30th, 2025. We're grateful for the time to build decentralized chat and communities. Thank you, early adopters and builders. We genuinely appreciate all of your feedback and our shared journey. Wishing them the best. Big shout out to Castig. I get it, so if you have your console community, be sure to have your community hub set up somewhere else before April 30th. Gave us about a month to get established, so go ahead and migrate off of the platform sooner than later. And also wanted to just get into the top. Let's see the top. Let's go to Coin Market Cap real quick and just kind of see what the market looks like really quickly before we bring the guys on. Let's see. So the Fear and Greed Index is from 31 last week is back down to 24 in the medium fear range here. Altcoin Index at 17 out of 100. Total market cap is 2.66 trillion. And let's look at the top gainers, I guess, in the last 24 hours, even though everything's red. Curve Dow is up 7%. Jito token is up 6.46%, and Toncoin, the Telegram coin, is up 5.27%. And moving on, let's go to total market cap here, and then figure out where Stacks is at, within this market cap rating. So it looks like Stacks is at number 67 right now. Just a couple spots down from where it was. We've been bouncing in between like the 64 to 70 range with Stacks. I don't think we got as low as 70, but like 68 for Stacks. So number 67 by market cap as we speak. So that's the news, and I've got some base chads within the ecosystem joining us tonight. So let me stop sharing my screen real quick, and let's introduce the guys. Let's bring the guys on. So we have the beloved Peace Love Music, the legend in the house, as well as Crypto Dude, also in the house from BoostX _app. What's up, guys? Happy Monday. I hope you guys are having a blessed start to your week. What's going on?
Good evening, man. How are you? I'm doing well. Doing okay.
Good,
doing good. So this is no more night shows for the rest of the week while GP's taking a little bit of time off. Much well earned.
Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, guys, so I will be touching some grass for the rest of the week with my family, getting together, but I will still be active. You will still see me like floating around spaces and active in the discords, the Zest and stacking down discords, just kind of floating around. But yeah, I'm going to be touching some grass and recharging my batteries so I can grind hard for the ecosystem and do what I do best, and just advocate for everybody in this ecosystem, whether you're a builder, artist, you name it. I'm going to go to bat for you and try to help you grow within this.
Of course, you don't have to tell us, man. You've already shown us, brother.
We know that.
Yeah, we all know that, and it's well earned time off, and do make sure you take some time off and recharge. It'll all still. When are you coming back? Monday?
So I will be back, I think, late Friday. So I may just have time for a night show on Friday. I don't know yet, but depending on how.
Off. Give yourself through the weekend, man.
I know. I feel so guilty though. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody's like grinding hard, had their heads down and stuff, and like
it'll all be back here on Monday.
Thank you, dude.
It'll all be back here on Monday.
Blockchain is it's not going anywhere.
Facts, right. Dude.
It's immutable.
I appreciate the hell out of you guys.
Exactly.
Because if it wasn't for you guys like reaffirming that it's okay, I would turn it into like something that's like, oh gosh, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you know what you're supposed to be doing. You have your mission. What are you doing? Your MO, soldier.
I took my week off. I took my week off around Christmas, and I still did the New Year's show and Staxy's thing, and a couple of I only ended up with like 3 days that I didn't. Even then, I had to I had to set up studios and stuff. You need the time. You need the time off. So take it.
And I'll come back like stronger than ever. You know me, man. Like if I take some time.
I'm not saying don't talk to us further, but I mean, don't worry about coming back and doing a show Friday night after you just had the vacation. You're gonna be tired. Like, vacations make you tired.
Yeah, I agree. I just love doing. I'm very passionate about what we're.
I mean, don't just not do it because you want to, obviously, but don't feel like obligated is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate the shit out of that because, I'm the type of person that is like, dude, like I have to be there with the guys and girls grinding, and I feel like almost guilty if I'm not, but like it is one of those things. Like I've been able to prepare myself. I went and like got myself like a nice little like one outfit for dinner, and then like whatever else, like I'm prepared, and I packed my suitcase, so I am going to be touching grass, and I'm looking forward to this so much. My nephew's getting big. I can't miss these moments, so it's like one of those things, man. Like I have to be there for these moments. So I am thankful to be in the position and grateful that I am surrounded by people that support me no matter what I have going on. Whether I have to like go for a week and they're going to be like, dude, they encourage that. That's the type of thing like That's what I love. The support from you guys, and it reaffirms that I'm doing the right thing, touching grass.
You're putting in a ton of work, bro.
Yeah.
Like I know, and I mean everyone sees it. And you know, to be honest with you, you're doing a great job with everything. So we want you to be at your best. You know, when you work hard, you need to take breaks. You really do. It's
And
just a
I'm the kind of guy that's gonna take a break, right? Like I'm still gonna be like kind of present, but like when I take a break, like it's gonna recharge my batteries, and I come back like so strong. So I take like
right.
4 days in a row. Everybody's different. Some might take a off, and then like okay, that's like 1 day a week. Like I take a day off or whatever it may be. But like I'm the kind that likes to take like consecutive days and then grind for the rest of the year. So that's just my style. Everybody's different.
Yeah, man, it makes sense for you to do that, and it's important to actually get those breaks. And it's like you're not going to be like completely gone. But here's the thing: there's so much of the stuff that's been going on the last couple months is
Yes.
like a lot of coming up with ideas and building and observing other people developing and building some really like we're getting just bombarded and with these thought-provoking things and coming up with more ideas. Oh, this would do that and this would do that. It's really good to give yourself a
Come back
break
fresh.
yeah.
And I think it's well timed too. I feel like it lined up perfectly because we had we got to cover the Velar Perp Deck launch, right? And like with big
Biddle
ecosystem.
battle,
Biddle
Biddle, BoostX launch. We've had all this stuff. Blaze, you've had all that stuff. We've had DeOrganized games. We've had all sorts of stuff, and it's been there's going to be stuff all week, man.
Yeah,
So,
well deserved, easily. And
Thank
you're shifting gears from proof of work to proof of vacation, so you better get
I need
ready.
to prove. I need to take some pictures, bring back a proof of vacation. You actually touched grass, Giga. You went and touched grass.
Now get back to work.
Now get back to work, you Filipino guy.
That's the other.
Oh shit! I love the fuck out of you guys, man. So crypto, dude, I wanted to kind of like shift gears in the convo and like, you've had some interesting ideas and concepts and things floating around in your head. Like, do you have anything to share about like BoostX? I know we were talking a little bit about, some ideas before we came live. Is there anything that you'd like to share with the audience? Like, anything, any updates, what you're working on?
Yeah, so we got the NFT transfers coming real soon. We basically got it done. We just haven't got it live on the store yet, obviously. But yeah, being able to transfer NFTs just as easily as liking a tweet, very similar to how you're transferring tokens right now with BoostX. You'll be able to do it with any NFT. So, that's gonna be sick. And then we're also having NFT tabs on profile pages. So basically, if you go to a profile page and that profile page has a BNS name, and there'll be a little tab injected down there, right, next to all your other tabs, and then you'll be able to see the list of owned NFTs that that account has, basically.
That's so sick, dude.
Yeah, so we're building the change we want. This is something I've wanted. This is something a lot of people have been asking for. This is gonna be cool for helping to establish like reputation too for SocialFi, getting that out there, because obviously everybody's kind of got their own projects and whatnot, and everybody can go earn those NFTs via those projects and whatnot. But you kind of want to be able to, at a glance, see some of those NFTs and discover the ones that you might already have meaning to you as another user, right? So when you're trying to build relationships and rapport with people and build and grow your community, you can see, who's already done similar stuff as you more at a glance this way. And we're really excited about that, because that's going to be kind of a way to prove community participation, members, proof of rep, basically.
Dude,
And
you can see those zero authority badges right within your, your profile that way.
exactly.
They're NFTs. That's epic.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. I mean, there's going to a little bit to it that we're going to just leave to discovery for when people get their hands on it. We're not going to spill the beans too hard, but it's going to be pretty cool for the NFTs on profile pages. The transfers obviously are built into the existing kind of modal for transferring, so it's kind of a separate but similar thing because it operates with NFTs. We obviously have other minor updates that we're doing as well. We're hammering also on the leaderboards. I don't think it's going to be in the next patch, unfortunately. We're probably going to focus more specifically on just making sure that the NFTs aspects are dialed in. But give me 1 second. I'm going to alt tab that over, or I'm going to alt tab to the different screen here so I can get a little more detail about what the hell I'm talking about here.
Yeah, dude, this module that you have added on this latest update is clean. Usually this is a quality of life for me because I'll have all of the protocols that I interact with daily in Stacks, pull it up in a different tab on my browser, right? Mm-hmm. And now that I can just go to X and immediately just hey, boom, open D app. I can do that. I can go over to Zero Authority and go look at what gigs are available. I can go to BNS and register a BNS. I can go to Zest Protocol and supply collateral. I can go to Stacking DAO and stack my STSDX or stack for STSDX and start earning yield. And of course, our favorite, you could head right over to the DeOrganized Media tab and look at the show schedule. So
no bias there.
No bias there. I promise. No bias. So that's one of the things, man.
Yeah, that's the featured stacks dApps module, right? And modal. So there's a module on the side, and then you click to show more, and that opens the modal. We're basically going to do a very similar thing with the BoostX leaderboards module and modal. So, similar placement, similar looking style on the right for the quick summary of the leaderboards. And then, you click to show more, it'll open the module, or the modal rather, and then, you'll get a more of a top level, more detailed summary of additional details. But we're going to do the leaderboards at first is going to be essentially, we're trying to figure out what's the best way to kind of kickstart. And it's if you think about what Web3 is about, on-chain proof of community and proof of reputation and all that, right? That's kind of the social fi. So we're going to have basically the leaderboards kind of show the boost by volume of certain tokens, so that way people can see what tokens are the most popular tokens used on BoostX, and so people can kind of try and find the community that seems to be kind of proving they're about the community easier.
So it's going to provide those metrics where hey, if you're going to speculate and you have this app downloaded, if you can go to the Chrome store and you have BoostX downloaded, you can kind of see which community is most active.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to have basically proof of community in the form of metrics and in the leaderboard module or modal. And so, for example, right now I can give you some stats really quick, just to give you a couple stats, or is it Leo? Actually, hold on. 1 sec here.
You got something maybe you could share?
It's not really that glamorous.
Not really.
I'll just tell you the stats. I don't like to share stuff that looks like trash.
I got you.
I'll share it probably in a DM with you later. But
yeah, no, I get it, buddy. You're one of those builders that is hey, when it's ready, I'll absolutely come show it, because you build in the open. You're implementing features to BoostX at a rapid pace. You're shipping updates almost it's bi-weekly, definitely. As fast as the Chrome store can update it. So yeah, I appreciate that about you.
So there's been, for example, a total of 310 boosts so far.
Right on.
BoostX, so that everybody's getting some love out there. There's been a total of 957.1 STX transferred to different users via BoostX. There's been a total of 209 USDH transferred to users via BoostX. There's been a total of, what is that? Let me just give me 1 second here. This is a large number. 1.8 million, basically, almost basically 1.9 million Leo, it looks like. So I'm not, give me one sec here, I'll tell you what the...
Pull up the value.
Yeah, I'll tell you, kind of, because people are like, what, Leo, they're
how
not
much is that Leo, right? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, a lot of it's been like with Find to Earn too. So like you're integrating with other apps and giving use like functionality that is
Bingo.
like providing like so much value to these other different apps and communities within the Bitcoin ecosystem via Stacks. Like you're killing it, dude. I love
so
how you're connecting
first
everything.
perspective, that's over $300 worth of Leo transferred already. So, obviously the volume is still early, but this is really good for the numbers of users we have, all things considered, to be honest. So like we're still early, but users, like if the more features we add, the more users come on board. It's directly correlate. Like you can see it in the analytics when you're looking at it on the Chrome dashboard. Every time we push an update, more users install. It's part and parcel, so to speak. And I'm excited to get this next NFT feature set out. So users that are trying to get their collection out in people's hands, it's going to have a lot easier way of doing that. They're going to have a way to kind of spread their art with less friction.
One thing that I think would be cool to see, do you have dog on there?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So people can already use like send their dog and like the OG rune, utilizing, like if you bridge over to Stacks and utilize BoostX, you can send dog tokens directly from X to other users. That's huge.
Grow the dog crew, for sure.
The dog army.
The dog army.
Yeah, dog army. That's what they call themselves. Dog army.
Yeah, I was about to say
dog
pound.
Dog pound.
I was like, I don't know, probably I should say that. Yeah, for sure you could do that. And there's 31 tokens that are transferable right now on fungible tokens. Once NFTs go live, that'll be any NFT. So there's a little bit of less restrictions in that sense. We could do the same thing with fungible tokens, but there's there's additional things to consider. So it's not. I mean, it could be as straightforward as that, but there's other things to consider in terms of metrics and stuff like that. So, but the other thing that we can introduce, aside from, we're basically talking about transferring NFTs and like displaying your NFTs, but we can also do, whitelisting, for lack of a better word, for BoostX. So we can use BoostX if people do boosting. We can, basically say from block X to, or block A to block Z. If you do a boost from these time frames, you'll get yourself on a whitelist. So if there's people that are wanting to collaborate and try and get some exposure and get some traction via BoostX, we could do that. We can do collaborations that way.
Dude, building a whitelist that way would be so, because like a lot of like getting onto whitelist, like interaction on X is a big part of that. Like you see a lot of like new NFTs, like, hey, go repost this. They have like their Zilly campaigns, whatever. Well, you're eliminating that, like having to leave X to go click this button and then prove that you did it. Like that's huge. Like exactly. The whitelist thing I love that, dude. That is great. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, and kind of on that same vein or same note, it's not necessarily a whitelist. It's more of a an exclusive list, I guess you'd say, like a first come first serve list. You know, we talked about this obviously before the the podcast went live, but we're wanting to do basically a kind of what we're calling a Cryptonaut NFT collection collaboration with you, and we're trying to basically get it to where the first users to use BoostX to transfer a token that hasn't been transferred yet in terms of type. So like, for example, the flat token, like, or world peace stacks token, right? Those tokens that haven't really been transferred yet via BoostX. I mean, there's still a fair amount of them. So, there's still a chance for people to do this, but we're trying to basically use this for a way to like procure a reserve list for an exclusive NFT collection, where the only way you can get the NFT is essentially by being the first person to transfer that token via BoostX to somebody.
Oh, so, you heard it here first, man. That's some alpha. So is that like, is that immediately like
it's going to be retroactively effective? So there's already eight out of the 31 tokens are already basically spoken for in terms of the Cryptonaut is already established, but there's still 23 tokens left that have basically yet to have a transfer invoked with them. So if you are the first to send a boost to somebody, you just establish yourself as that Cryptonaut, and once they all have received at least their first boost, all tokens have at least received one boost basically, then that's when we'll launch the collection shortly thereafter that, and everybody that was the first will automatically get their NFT, and they'll have that proof of basically being a pioneer.
Proof of early, proof of like, yes, proof of chat, proof of community, all of it, proof of work.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it, dude. So you heard it here, and like, so is there to help with like, it's only going to be a few. It's going to be a very scarce collection.
There's only 31.
So if somebody is to send multiple tokens and be the first person, is there going to be a way, like, are they going to have multiple Cryptonauts? Like, is that something?
Yep, for sure. So,
dude, somebody's gonna chat out tonight. I can feel it. Like, and just go download BoostX from the Chrome store, and then chat out and send all of these off, and then own all of the Cryptonauts. I'll try not to do it because
yes, I'm obviously excluding myself from the list because I did some early testing, but it's fair game for everybody else as far as I'm concerned. So if you're the first, you're the first.
I love it.
On chain.
I love it. Shifting a little bit of like gears. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Stacking DAO chads and the Zest chads and share a little something that I had going on really quickly before we get back into other stuff. But sharing my screen here. Not Oviato. Get into the Zest protocol, please. Okay, so I have made an activity schedule for both the Zest Discord as well as the Stacking DAO Discord. So you can jump in there and figure out what the activity schedule for April is in the announcement section. So go check out and see what we have going on in the Stacking DAO and Zest communities over there. I got some fun initiatives involved, and and another thing, like while we're on the topic, this is what leads me to it, is go jump into the BoostX Discord. You may just want to get in here for the alpha first. Let's grow this community. There are things in motion.
We have a meme contest going on right now. So there's 3 winners. It's basically 0.0001 STX per winner. So basically, there's
is that in general, or is it this one here?
You can see it in general or in the announcements. Announcements probably easier to find. Yeah,
so there you go. This one right here. So it's looking like He's got some SBTC up for grabs. He's giving away Bitcoin for a meme contest. It's a no-brainer, guys. Go equip your BNS name on X, your .btc or .stx. Like and retweet this tweet here in the BoostX Discord, and reply with hashtag BoostX inspired hashtag meme. So get in the know. Jump into the BoostX Discord. Yeah,
actually reply with the meme, folks, not just BoostX inspired meme.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they're clever with this shit. They're like BoostX inspired meme.
Yeah, dude,
like, that's not
clever.
what
Like,
I'm saying.
use your imagination.
Like,
Like,
you fucking trolls.
do a rocket or something. Like, right? Yeah,
I know.
get a bunch of trolls.
Dude, they're all trolling me at that point. I said like, oh, you'd be clever, guys. And then ever since I said clever, it's like half of the responses are that. I'm like, oh funny.
Shit. I love the trolls in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Man. They make it fun because like some of the stuff, like some of these guys are very witty, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get a couple of trolls from that combo right there, dude.
Yeah, that we threw that out there as just getting a milestone in our Discord. We're gonna do another one, and once we get more milestones in the Discord, so we're join the Discord. Follow us on X. We're basically constantly talking about stuff that we're doing, and trying to share love, get the word out there, because I mean the functionality is only going to get better, the UI is only going to get better. There's features that you can request if you want them. We have a feature request channel, we have an integrations request channel. If you want to see your token listed, let's talk about it. We for example, the bottle swap.btc, he's wanting to get his STX AI token in there, so I'm going to review that after this podcast, and if I'm assuming it's all good, then it's going to go in there and it'll be alive on the next patch. And it's as simple as that. Just talk to me, send me the details of your token, let's get it in there. I'm not charging a fee or anything like other places. I mean, it's literally just, I want to vet the contract a little bit, just to
make sure it's
quality
safe.
assure it. Yeah, tokens are kind of risky, and there's been drainers out there, contracts. I mean, obviously we wouldn't supply any of those post conditions anyways, so it would just fail, but I don't want to see people even lose their transaction fees, so.
Right. I get that. Is bottle swap, is that wine tits with or wine tits, wine twits?
Yes.
Wine tits? Dude, oh my god.
That's hilarious.
Somebody
reading the news?
named that.
Did you hear me
Maybe
reading
watching. He actually said hi earlier in the show.
Holy shit.
His actual name is Steve.
Please, somebody create a fucking shirt with wine tits or something.
wine tits now?
Hold on. I'm going to BNS one right now.
Yeah, before somebody else. Wine tits.btc.
It's too good. Like my what are they called? Ferrugi and those slips. What are they called?
Flips.
Yes, dude. They're kicking my ass right now, dude. You know I'm ready to touch some grass.
He's going on vacation looking for some wine tits.
Yeah, right.
Some wine tits.
He's got something else on the mind. He's early. He's ready.
I'm already on vacation right now. I my body doesn't even know it because I'm sitting in the chair still. But
dude, that was so
my brain
funny.
is on vacay.
Honestly,
man.
hilarious.
I'm thankful for you guys, man. Thank you for being here to help me have good vibes before I ship out. And go touch some grass for a little bit, and sharing some alpha too. So definitely go to the Chrome store, download BoostX, get into the token list. Figure out which one has not been sent. Do you have a list of tokens that have not been sent with BoostX yet? That might be something to do.
Yeah,
approved tokens that haven't been sent.
Yeah, like the ones that are already listed.
Yeah, there's
haven't been sent with BoostX yet.
So basically, there's 31 tokens currently supported in terms of fungible tokens. Right, and so 8 of them have already had a BoostX transaction, transfer or take place. So in other words, somebody has received a boost with that token as what they received, right? And so the other 23 have not. We're obviously looking to encourage participation here.
Well, I guarantee you by the end of the
we're
week,
going to offer a collection.
Welsh, Bitcoin Pepe, and Not Token, if they aren't on the list, that they haven't been sent by the end of the week, they will be
immediately.
Yeah, they're currently on the list of up for grabs for CryptoNaut. So if you got some Knot and you want to earn a CryptoNaut, there you go. So if like here, I'll tell you the list of what's. It might be easier just to tell you what's. Hold on.
Yeah, because like if we have those like options that are already spoken for out there, like out of the list, people know exactly what to do, and I don't see this lasting very long at all. I know that people are going to download BoostX and just like get in the game, start shipping. Like you're interacting with the Stacks blockchain, which is secured by Bitcoin directly from X. It makes perfect sense just to like get in the game, and send a token. You don't even have to send a whole lot to be eligible. You just have to be the first, so one of those things, man. And like
Exactly.
While doing that, if somebody doesn't have that certain token, they have to go buy just a little bit of it. So you're also supporting these communities that you have listed in a very unique fashion, so it's dope.
Yeah, and this will also help bolster the stats relative to the leaderboard once that's ready and stuff. So you're going to help. If you believe in your community's token, this is going to be a way to kind of put your money where your mouth is and boost the presence in the
get it out there in the algo,
the proof of community, so to speak. Exactly. And so here's the we currently have already STX obviously spoken for. SPTC already been transferred, Rue's already been transferred, USDH has already been transferred, Leo's already been transferred, Skull's already been transferred, Bellar's already been transferred, Dog's already been transferred, but everything else has not. So that means, of the supported ones, we got, give me 1 second here. Hold on. So, still available, Alex. We got Deco. We got STSTX, Welsh, Meme, Mega, Charisma, World Peace, Flat. We got Rock. We got Stone. We got Bob. We got Droid. We got Fresh. We got Moist. We got UAP. We got Beams. We got, I think actually Smoke is also spoken for now that I think about it. Play
big shout out
is still available. Don't give a yeah, let's go. We got Don't Give a Fuck from Honey Badger.
Big shout out Shiflet.
We got Nasty, and we got Pepe. So there's still a few for the CryptoNauts available. I mean, like I know you guys are probably going to be who's going to get that fresh.
Dude, the fresh voice.
Who's going to get that fresh?
Dude, you gotta get the fresh one piece. Like you gotta get the fresh one, and I'm gonna try my hardest to get the moist one, and then we can like find some type of interactive like. Oh, dude, I could see it happening. Like we use that Kling AI to make the ideas. Okay, redacted. The rest of the conversation is redacted.
Oops, you didn't. Yeah, oops. No, it's cool. We can talk about it in the open too. I mean, if you want, that's fine by me. Like if you were saying you wanted to use a little bit of AI to make some animations for some of them, or all of them, or maybe just a handful of them, or
the artist.
Whatever.
So I would like it to be like no AI involved, but then have some sort of like just for the NFT itself, have like real like a person made this NFT, but then have like an option to get some media along with it for owning that specific NFT. You can have like, say you're the first one that owns it, you get this like we run the NFT through Kling, and then maybe even like a block survey to where like you say, hey, I want my knot to do this, and then maybe you send some media over for them to post on X about it or something, or maybe we just
I love
animated.
I love I mean, we can most definitely do just obviously actual artists on the art, and then from there we can figure out if we want to just have, you know, all of them just be static images, or some of them maybe be animated to add a little extra rarity in there, or maybe have some additional NFTs on top of the ones that are the Cryptonauts that are, you know,
Or
just,
maybe it might have
you know, I guess
something
you'd
to
say,
do with the amount of boost that you do. Like if you boost it, like the highest booster, like the amount, like in that certain token, the highest amount that you send to somebody,
we're
maybe.
we're actually gonna. Yeah, now you're actually cooking into our other
No,
dish.
so I should have redacted that
So-
one.
Not side. So the basically this initial set will basically be what we're calling the Cryptonaut. You know, we're first person to basically do these transfers of these tokens. You're the pioneer in the space, so to speak, with BoostX. You know, you're out there in the crypto space doing you're literally the first with that token, right? And so we want to reward those users and give them that proof, and you know, that they were here at the ground level, basically. And then, you know, obviously other collections can come online over time and you know, have their place and their role. Like, for example, like what you're just talking about, the biggest booster, you know, we could do that during a specific holiday or something like that, or during like specific events. And, you know, like big person to boost the largest amount from block A to block Z, you know, to give them a kind of a time frame that they need to do their boosts in, and then we can measure the block range, right, and calculate who was basically the, you know, the person that did the most amount of total boosting, you know.
And then you have a leaderboard,
you know,
and it becomes a competition.
Exactly. Well, not just a leaderboard. They can actually earn an NFT that proves it.
Dude.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so like if you have that leaderboard in real time, you can see who is like in that position in real time, and like somebody say boost for 25 STX or whatever it is, whatever SIP10 it is, and then somebody else does 26, and then so you're encouraging more boosting going on by having that leaderboard to get that special NFT within that time frame, you know. So oh dude, the ideas, the chemistry, perfect, dude. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you, brother. Have a blessed night, man.
Mountain Steve,
Night,
later,
guys.
man.
Great stuff, as always.
Later.
Talk to you soon.
See you later, man. Yeah, that's one of those things. It's whenever like we get into the same room and we just kind of like get the conversation going around like what you're building, and then that's what I admire about the way that you build, being in the open, also taking suggestions. You know, you want feedback from the users. You want to build for the user, like you keep the user in mind like at all times. So that's one of those things that really resonated with me whenever you first started coming on the nightly show talking about BoostX. I love that about you, dude. So lots of alpha coming.
Yeah, I appreciate
Lots of alpha coming, dude. We've had a lot of conversations in the last couple of weeks about some really base stuff going on. So thank you for always like being open to coming on and sharing the alpha in real time.
Oh, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's hard to do the marketing thing and try to build and all that stuff. So I appreciate the opportunity to get the word out without having to try and focus hardcore on the marketing side of things. I can just come on here, be myself, and
That's
just
what it's about.
shoot the shit, and that means a lot. So, you know,
Yeah,
I appreciate
you know, keeping it authentic while keeping it transparent. You know, like all of these things are important, right? You know, we are ourselves. Like we can never be anybody else. You can put on a face, but like literally just being comfortable and having these conversations is where the magic is made. So like always just like feel comfortable in your own skin. We're all quirky in our own way, and like as you seen me earlier, I was reading the news and I was just beefing it all the way up, and then I called wine twits wine tits, and now I'm looking for wine tits on my holiday. You know, so it's like can't
That
take
is so
ourselves
funny.
too serious,
I'm
right,
still
dude?
laughing about
Yeah,
that.
we gotta have fun while we're doing this. So that's one thing that I
Yeah.
really,
So did want to mention one thing that you mentioned, touch on one thing that you mentioned during the news. You talked about the console DAO basically shutting their doors, which is unfortunate. They've been around for a while, and that's I hate to see that happen, but everybody's got to pursue
right.
their own path, and
Me too.
I wish them well. But on that front, probably is going to incentivize us to reevaluate our priorities in terms of integrations with other platforms like Discord, because we know that people have used console in the past to kind of trying to substitute for Discord, and it's a good idea, but it's the integration with the crypto space that is really the overlap. You got to
Right.
kind of go where the users are, and there's a lot more users obviously on Discord, a lot more users on X, and so I think if we reprioritize and kind of focus on getting Discord.com integrated with, or BoostX integrated with Discord.com, then we can obviously kind of help alleviate some of that, I guess you'd say, pain for some of those users that prefer to have this type of interface with
I
UI
like it.
wise or
I like
whatever.
it. Like where I see where your head is going. So, kind of like scaling from X, like getting everything fine tuned on X, and then like moving into other platforms, social media communities, like Discord. I think that's really big. I think that would be fun. Being able to use BoostX in a Discord, and you're able to like say swap a token. You're able to use a protocol directly from Discord. There's a lot of value in that, so I see. I think it's very huge.
Yeah, just imagine just right clicking on somebody's message right there in Discord, and then having a little transfer via BoostX option on the little context menu that Discord options or that Discord has when you're on the web app. Obviously, this would have to be done in the web app, because we're going to leverage the extension, obviously. But if the user has a .btc name in their Discord name, then
Is
we
there a
can
way?
do essentially the same thing. We can parse the content and then inject the relative element, accordingly if they have a detected
And then
BNS
you're
name,
tapping
basically.
into a
So
different user base as well, and doing work like helping onboard people into .btc names and BNS from Discord in that fashion. But is there a way that you can connect, like say if somebody has their X handle on X as a BNS, and then instead in the Discord they just have their regular username? Is there a way to like look into X and see that they have a BNS as their X profile already, and then utilize that in Discord, or is the main goal to like what is there any like you have like
You're talking about a translation from an like a reverse translation,
right
so to speak,
like
rather than a forward like a standard translation, so to speak, because the BNS name is a unique global. So when you register that, you can determine who the owner is in terms of owner address. But to kind of infer another string to that string to the address is you it's problematic, to say the least. And then also you kind of like are lowering the exposure. The point here is to try and get .btc,
makes
.stx,
sense.
get it out there and try and get people's eyes to see that and recognize that this is basically a way to have an integrated payment method, so to speak.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of like where my head went as soon as I started like saying it is like, okay, if we're just kind of referencing that they have it on X, then why,
We
yeah, it
can't,
kind
we
of
can't,
defeats
we
the
can
purpose.
still do, how we've talked about the verified BNS badges on
Right.
X, use cross-referencing their BNS zone file to look to see their corresponding X handle, so that, you can kind of verify which actual X account owns the corresponding BNS address, so you can present the badge. We could do the same thing with Discord if we wanted, in terms of having a BNS badge on there, and for that additional layer of verification, because your zone file, you can specify any number of records, including a Discord name if you wanted.
Yeah, I think that they're also trying to expand more things of that they have in that zone file, right? If I'm not mistaken, like they're trying to, so there may be something there, and I think that I really want to see this feature. I think that would be very, very fun to be able to do a mint directly from within a Discord. Say you have an NFT collection and you want to mint directly from Discord. Like, I'm an NFT artist and I have my own Discord. I have the GPSE, the Giga Pepe Spaceship Club Discord. I see being able to do a mint directly from there being pretty cool. That like
that's most definitely possible. I mean, we could do that for sure. The reason why we haven't done a mint yet is because we haven't had that kind of the housing in place, so to speak, to present the NFTs, which is the NFT tabs on profile pages. So once that's done, we'll have kind of the foundation laid, so that way we can actually kind of start encouraging and facilitating mints through BoostX, and then people can see oh, there it is on my profile page, check it out, I just minted that. So it'll be more feature complete once that is in place and capable, basically be acting as kind of the foundation. So I totally get what you're saying. It's coming soon. I wish there was like more time in a day, to be honest. Sometimes I'd wake up so early and then stay up so late, and I'm like, oh, God, I got to get some sleep or else I'm never
4 hours. 4 hours only, dude. That's it. Only 4 hours.
And then till the weekend, and then it's like half the day, right?
Yeah, it's still half the day on the weekends. Like, you know what I mean? I get it. I'm right there with you. Just kind of in a different lane, I don't code, but like I'm facilitating these conversations and trying like in a different way. But I am also too working 15-hour, 20-hour days, and on the weekends part-time too. So yeah, you're building the change, man, at a rapid pace, and I'm thankful to have seen your process and see BoostX grow from the very start. So I think what you're doing is a very novel technology. It's very cool. It's integrating other apps, and it's going to help everybody within the Stacks ecosystem interact with each other and foster collaboration between different projects, community members, you name it. People are going to work together with this. So we are like getting to that point in the Stacks ecosystem where it's going to be a huge app boom. Do you see like any like projects from Biddle Battle that you might want to like feature in the near future? Did anything like stick out to you? Of course, like Blaze won the Biddle Battle, or like you're going to feature that in the module soon.
Yeah, for sure. I want to probably upgrade the way that module presents the data before because like there's obviously the mainnet apps, right, that are on the L2. There is also like kind of what Blaze is doing, which is more of what I kind of consider an L3.
Right.
And then there's, also apps that are kind of still in testnet that may need some testers. So I kind of want to revisit the way the presentation of the module of the featured Stacks apps is, and give it a little bit more categorization, and
like maybe even like a test, like you put it like in alpha testing, in beta, and then mainnet, as a category, like
exactly. And so basically a way for users to filter out apps that are, if they're looking to test apps and maybe earn early rewards from those tests, because obviously some apps want testers, right? I mean, I've been there. I've wanted testers for things, and paying for testers is not a new concept,
right?
And so, getting that opportunity for people to go onto the testnet and do the testnet thing for those apps and help, provide the critical feedback to help refine the app to get it to the point where it's actually, commercially viable. It's like an actual product or whatnot, or service. And, giving that module that kind of exposure would be, or that kind of presentation filtering capability would be great, because then we could also onboard apps easier and kind of have the kind of fill out like a criteria form, and then we can categorically or put them in there depending on where they're at, and that depending on how they fill out the form, basically.
Yeah, and what if these apps were in testnet, and then you implemented a way to use testnet STX with BoostX, and then now you're testing the app from X?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
No.
Yeah, that's like a lot of work.
Very straight shooter, bro. Thank you, dude.
I mean, it's not up to me to test their apps on testnet. It's up to the developers and the testers of those apps on testnet.
It's more about putting it in front of them and tell them that
I'm more than willing to help create exposure to help get users paid for testing and help developers finish development of their app with that critical feedback. And hell, I'll go in there and provide testing myself with it. I for sure will. But integrating it on testnet on BoostX, I mean, it's not impossible. It's just it's not worth the effort.
No, I understand. Yeah, so like you're not trying to earn I get it, dude. And but the principle is that like you can help people find testers and then help reward those testers. So I do see where kind of refining your module right there in the X to kind of say, hey, this is in testnet, this stage of to help find testers would be beneficial. So it is a good idea that came. Yeah, that's dope, dude.
And this is kind of in a similar vein, but it's not exactly the same vein. But it's a similar concept in terms of like an evolution of data over like an app would be listed on testnet probably, and then eventually on mainnet, right? So it's kind of evolving in its listing, so to speak. Well, similar things happen with SIP proposals, right? And I wish we had Hero Gamer in here right now, but I
always wish we had Hero Gamer in here.
Right? He's so chill.
Yeah, dude.
He's always just so on the point too.
Yeah.
And so, but basically, like the SIP process, for in case people don't know what the SIP process is, it's basically the Stacks implementation proposals, and how to improve the protocol. Stacks improvement proposals, or there's a couple choose your acronym, but basically it's how people propose implementation changes to the Stacks protocol if they want to have it improved, right? And so having that the process kind of be highlighted and exposed, and maybe even integrated into BoostX, so that way there could be more community involvement for obviously SIPs they kind of start the 10,000 foot view and then eventually reach the engineers, right? But I would love to help at least kind of funnel ideas and information that way, so that way there can be more community feedback.
I agree.
I know Hero's always asking for that. So,
and it would give you like users a way to interact and read about these SIPs, and then like get like rewarded for that, like get educated, and then like now you're getting into like educate to earn, right? Exactly. That model, and that's really interesting. So that's dope, man. We are getting around that hour and a half, like a little bit over the hour. So I was going to ask you, did you have anything else that maybe you might want to share? Any other like frequencies that you want to put out there? Shameless shill.
Yeah, I'll do the shameless shill, and first I'll drop a little reiteration on some alpha that we hadn't talked about. The users, I want to have them be able to obviously mine some crypto cash once that's ready, and be able to stack crypto cash and earn yield basically in the form of STX. So basically, the more boost that's happening, the more input that's going into that mining protocol, thus more rewards for the stackers. So it's proof of transfer light protocol, and
we're going to integrate that in there once the audits are done. We're waiting on the reports on that, but basically that's coming. We're also working on user specific, I don't want to call it charity addresses because it's not just charity, but basically user specific payment outputs that are baked into the transaction, so you can kind of like micro donate to, like, for example, charities or specific artists or organizations that you want to see receive funding over time. Kind of do that in kind of in a set it and forget it type of manner. So we're working to build out the DeFi in lots of different ways in a nice cohesive user experience in BoostX, so users can get the most out of their social reach, basically.
I love it. I think that, the crypto cash concept, mining, and all of the things that you have going on with crypto cash, it's very fun. Like, I think that, like, people would enjoy being able to interact directly from X and then mine some crypto.
It's also critical for being able to incentivize boosts, because right now there's the incentive to do a boost is get on a whitelist maybe, or get a good feeling because you help somebody out, or maybe the incentive, there are incentives already, but having an incentive like participating in mining, imagine being able to mine for crypto right there in X, and all from basically boosting the content you like already. So you're supporting what you like, and you're doing it for selfish means because you're hoping to win the block of crypto cash. And once you get that block of crypto cash, then you can stack it and start earning from all the additional boosts that come after that. So the flywheel starting to
come in place. Like, it's becoming a well-oiled machine. You have one part well-oiled, and you have the next part getting well-oiled and like secured and audited, and all of these things are coming together, and including Derupt, where like your exhibits, to where you can get your post from X and then like have them safe, and always be able to reference them. No matter
censorship resistant content basically directly on X, because it's stored in your Stack storage rather than on Twitter storage. So if they ever nuke your account, you can at least recover your exhibits. And when you create a new X account, you can set your BNS name up, obviously, because they can't take that away from you. And then your exhibits will be still in your control. So yeah, dude, that we're bringing the change, whether they fucking like it or not. Let's go.
Let's fucking go, dude. I think that is like a perfect thing to end off on, is that we're bringing the fucking change, whether they like it or not. Fade it at your own risk. NFA EYOR. Go follow BoostX_app. Follow Crypto Dude to stay in the know with BoostX. Go to the Chrome store, install BoostX, get yourself into the game, start interacting with stacks directly from X. The flywheel will be in motion very soon. Thank you, Crypto Dude. I hope that you have a blessed week, dude, and I will be in touch. I'm going to touch some grass, but I'll still be here and there, and I'll come back more recharged than ever, and we'll go headstrong into this thing, and we'll get the Crypto Knots thing started, man. I'm really excited.
Let's go. Hell yeah, dude. Enjoy your time off. Have a great vacation. You most definitely earned it. And I guess touch some grass for me.
I'll touch some grass for you, buddy. I'll bring a couple blades home for you. All right, bud. Later, dude. What's up, guys? It's your boy GP from DeOrganized Media. I'm touching grass for the rest of the week. I'm going to come back very, very strong. No more DeOrganized nightly segments for the rest of the week. But looking forward to the week 2 of April with a lot of different things going on in the Zest protocol and Stacking DAO community discords, along with, episodes of DeOrganized Nightly spinning back up. You guys definitely enjoy the rest of your week. I will be in touch, bringing you as alpha as it comes to my desk. You guys have a blessed week. I will talk to you a little bit later on. Peace.